the number 19. Apparently that's important.
面白い数字です。
Yeah.
気に入ったよ。
Oh, do you? Why is that? Give me details. Why do you like that number? Give me a 10-page essay on why you like that number. Be as specific as you can.
すべてと決別するには
Why? 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 Why in the f*** is that a good number to settle everything with? It's a good number to settle everything with. Why? Why? No, okay, number 19. Number 19. I don't know. Number 19. Number 19? 19. Why is 19 a good number to settle everything? Why? What's the significance of 19 outside of the fact that Badler was once like, oh, there's 19 people, right? And Beatrice was like, no, there's 18. Oh wait, Kinzo's dead. Never mind, there's 17. Like 19. 19. Whenever the illusion of a 19th person was seen on this island, on which only 18 people were supposed to be, this number was used to refer to the witch. Okay. It was the number of years needed to create this tale. What? They're referring to like Badler's age, right? That's what this is like in reference to? Well, no, Badler's 18, isn't he? Badler is 18. But then like the year before also played it. Because like obviously the time of conception and the pregnancy and whatnot, because he's not Asmu's kid, which can only lead us to believe that he is Kyrie's kid and there's some kind of switch up, a mix up of some sort. Because he is Rudolph's son. The Badler that we know is Rudolph's son. That much we do know for sure. That is Rudolph's kid. The number of years needed to create this tale. I understand that. Because it all revolves around like Badler, and obviously the circumstances surrounding Badler's birth is a huge part of that. So obviously if it's 19 years, Badler's 18, then a year's worth of conflict leading up to his birth, right? It was the number of years it took to reach this unavoidable day. And it was the age of the true territory lord of this world. So Badler is 19. Unless Beatrice is 19? Like the Beato? I thought she was like 6. I thought she was created for Badler's sake when he stopped coming to the family, the gatherings, conferences. But if Badler's the true territory lord, as in where we are now, that would kind of make sense. But if they're saying the true territory lord as the person who first had it, then that would be Beatrice. Right? Ouch. Let's keep going. 19 paces. That's like I get a significant number, but yeah, pretty far.
早打ちが有利とは限らない場合だ。
先に打って外してしまった多分。それで決着してしまう。
それを当てればかすり傷一つ負わずに勝てる。簡単なゲーム。
それでは決闘者背中を合わせて立ちなさい。
Shannon and Kanon slowly walked towards each other, facing each other. Once they turned away, they wouldn't see the other's face again until they killed them. So this face-to-face meeting would never happen again.
今までありがとう。
僕にあらせてくれて、灰色の世界に彩りを見せてくれて、あれ
どうして私たちは生まれたんだろうね。
I wonder as well.
生まれた時すぐに死ねればよかったんだ。
それはお父さんの罪だね。
Who is father?
そうさ、だからあいつも死ね。みんな死ぬ。
みんな死ぬよ、もうすぐね。そしてすぐにみんな蘇って会える。もう私たちはカゴの中の小鳥じゃない。
What?
僕たちはようやくカゴを出て、それぞれの世界へ羽ばたけるんだ。
君ともっと早くこうして決闘を。
それがきっと今日なのさ。
今日だね。
1986年運動の日。
私たちのどちらかが死ぬ、
あるいは同時に打ち合って。
それでも全然ありだね。
そうさ、それであっても必ず僕らの
決闘の必要
あったさ。姉さんも言ってるよ。僕たちはいずれにせよもっと早く決闘するべきだな。
そうだね。私にとって
僕にとって
もう邪魔なのだから。
Okay. Like, I'm trying to figure out what the truth is behind those two. But there's a whole lot of truths, alright, that you gotta try to figure out by this point. But, like, there's something very strange with those two. And I'm trying, they're dropping these little bits and pieces, and I'm trying to, like, think of something, using these little pieces they throw me to, like, piece something together. I just can't. I don't. Oh. For the first time, the intent to kill flashed through the eyes of both. Why? For what reason? I wish I knew. Why must such a day come for this pair that seems so much like siblings, connected by a bond different from love? It was a great mystery. So somehow these two, they've got some kind of secret within their bond of something that'll help connect us back to the room, right? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is that why Beato's popping up here all of a sudden? As great a mystery as the question of how this could be the key towards unlocking Battler-san's closed room. I'm straining my brain trying to fucking think of something. If I watch over this duel instead of running away, will I find the key to solving that closed room? Bullets, of course. How come we didn't think of that? We should have thought of bullets. I will, right? Zapar-san, Furufa-san. Okay. The cathedral is beautifully decorated for the wedding between the territorial lord, Lord Battler, and Lady Etika. A crowd of guests wearing goat masks filled the cathedral, waiting for the arrival of the bride and groom. As befitted a demon's wedding, it was neither solemn nor quiet, but cheery and noisy, brimming with activity.
ベアとはどうしているのでしょう。
ゼパルとフルフルのところに身を寄せ愛を司れば魔王陛下とてきっと何かの力になってくれると思いたいのです
あいつらのことはよ素直に力を貸してくれる連中じゃないのはあんたのよ。
がですがしかしだからこそ奇跡にも通ずる力を与えられるのです。
とにかくバトラ君の心を密室から助け出せればなんとかなるのです。 ガープは密室が大好物なんです。何か妙案は思いつかないのですか？
ひどい密室よ。バトラとエリカの2人で
Uh-huh.
赤き真実内部からの単独脱出は不可能だと断言できるわ。
It's impossible to escape from the inside on one's own. Okay. There needs to be assistance of some sort. That's why I go back to why they brought up the number 19. There's something there. There's something. I don't know what. But then we know in red. We know in red, right? That there's only the 17. Kinzo is dead, Erika's a piece on the board, but the rest of these are actual people on the island. These two are suspicious. I don't know what to think about them. But that's what we know for sure. And we know that these 5 are actually dead. Legitimately dead. Erika made sure of it. These 5 are absolutely dead. And everyone else should be holed up in the guest house rooms. In one of the guest house rooms. Everyone is, right? Yeah, it's a Kraus, Rudolph, Jessica, and the serve and Kanon Goda, I think, and Genji. I think it's Genji, Kanon, Goda, and then like Shannon, George, Kumsa, Hideyoshi. I think it's separated like that, something like that, or yeah, it's something like that. But I'm pretty sure everyone's indisposed. And Nanjo, right? I always forget Nanjo's there. They're separated into the rooms and they're sealed in. So they can't do anything without, alerting that they were the person, without, leaving an obvious trace that they were the person who did that. She said it's impossible to do on one's own. You cannot do it on your own. She's not saying that in red. That is true. I shouldn't be taking that as an absolute fact. She can say she says for certain, but unless it's in red, I shouldn't take it as an absolute truth that it's like, oh yeah, okay, it's impossible. She sees it as impossible. Perhaps there is some possibility to it.
やはり誰かが入れ替わりで内側に入る。
その誰かが現れてくれれば、11人もいるんでしょ？
その11人はゲストハウスなんとかそこを抜けられれば。
なるほど。バトラ様の密室を解くのとゲストハウス2階の2つのどちらかの密室を解くのは同じこと。
Okay. Now we're thinking. It's less about solving the room that he's in and more about solving the guest house rooms, the rooms in the guest house. I think that was mentioned at some point. I think maybe it was Lambda at some point said like to think outside, or someone at some point said you needed to think outside of the room as like a parting hint. I think it was Lambda. I don't know. But they said you needed to think of outside of just the room. So it is so while it hasn't been said in red, if we go off the assumption that it is impossible to do on your own, there's no way about it, then we have to solve how does someone get out of the guest rooms without breaking the seals. Okay.
そういうことよ。バトラの客室だけにこだわるのは思考的密室も同然だわ。
Thanks.
バトラを助けるために開く密室はゲストハウスの密室なのよ。
Can one of y'all go tell the Beato that? Because I don't think she's thinking in the same way.
お気の毒です。ゲストハウスの2部屋は我らアイゼルネ・ユングフラガー。
あんたらは封印と結界は大のお得意。
しかしさすがはミス。バトラを救うべく破るべき密室はもうじき式も始まるでしょうが、それまでの退屈しのぎに一つ
Yeah,
現場
reconstruct
の
the
最
scene.
高点。
いいのですか？エリカ教の駒であるあなたの守秘義務に違反しません。
いいえ、構いません。存分に現場の封印を確認なされて絶望された方が心の底から死期を祝福できるの。
ユージン乗るわ。リア、式前にちょっと。
それでは再構築をよろしくお願いいたします。
金家謹んで受けたまわり立てまする。
Okay. Give me the facts.
いとこ部屋ですね。
隣部屋も講座はそれでは存分にご検証を。
部屋にいるのは源氏、郷田、カノ、
Along with Kraus, Jessica,
そしてクラウス、
Krafferoff, and I knew that room.
ジェシカの計6人ですな。
隣部屋は秀吉、ジョージ、シャノン、熊沢、南條、計5人です。
バカね、あんたたち誰がいるかなんて今はどうでもいい。この部屋からどう脱出するか。
Right.
そうです。扉も窓も封印されていますから、なんとか他の場所から。
私ね、あんたら天界の連中が得意とする勢い密室じゃないわよね、この部屋。
金家慎我らが担当したら密室は完璧なりや。
あんた前回は金蔵、バトラは金蔵を。あの部屋
それはコーネリアの密室。その筆跡は上司の私が賜ります。
Okay,
金
then
蔵の
answer.
書斎の時と全く窓よ。窓からこの密室は破れバレバレなのよ。
どうしてエリカ教は部屋窓の封印ももちろん含まれ、部屋を
なるほど。どうやら私たちは封印の定義を勘違いし、ガムテープで封じられた破れないわけではありません。牢屋ではないのです。
そういうことよ。封印は確かに密室を保証するわ。でも密室を維持することを保証はしないわ。
Right.
ガムテープが破られない限り密室であることを保証するだけ。
我々は何も誤解。ガムテープが維持される限り密室を、それだけです。
それでどうして窓からなら密室を破れるのですか？
That was a good point. Then why the windows and not the doors?
簡単じゃない。ガムテープをぶっちぎって外へ飛び出すだけ。ゲストハウスの外壁の構造は知らないけど、あの小娘が誰にも知られずに這いずり回って外からガムテープが貼れる程度。
ガムテープを破れば封印が破られた。そして私たちは封印が健在であることをバトラのロジックエラー時にも証明しているはずです。
そうね。
Right. Okay. I'm like, wait. Then why the fuck can't? Why didn't I think of this before? Like, just leave the room. Right. We proved that the things were
確かにあんたた
sealed.
ちはあの時点でも封印が破られていない。だから密室だと私たちは誤解。封印イコール密室とは限らないのよ。
Gop's specialty was dealing the finishing blow in closed room mysteries. She leaned back and looked down at the short Delanor as though a challenge such as this was like taking candy from a baby. Delanor looked up at her with a bold expression and sparks flew between them. Nice. Let's go.
封印イコール密室ではないのですか？そんなバカ。
思い出してリーア、あの時エリカたちは何の封印の維持を見せたの？
なるほど。天界大法院の得意そうな改ざん術ですな。
聞き捨てなりません。お伺いしましょ
う。だから言ってるでしょ。窓よ。確かにあんたたちは彼らを封印でその際には、そしてその証明は封印時になされた。ここまでは OK よ。でもね、しかしその後中の人間は誰で ここには誰がいるんだっけ？源氏、郷田、誰でも可能よ。窓のガムテープをちぎってここから抜け出し、バトラーを助けに。
ですからその封印は健在であるとロジックエラー。
違いますよ。あの時エリカ卿が証明されたのは扉の封印だけです。
そう、あの時エリカ卿は2部屋の扉を示し、窓の封印には触れなかった。
それが正解よ。確かに封印時は扉も窓も完璧だったでしょうよ。でもロジックエラー時には扉しか封印、つまりエリカがゲストハウス窓を破って自由に部屋を出ることが禁じられていない。どう？グーの音も出ないでしょ。これがあんたたちのやり。
She's got something.
上司ドラノール、そろそろ。
どうやら新郎新婦がおしゃべりはこれくらいにし、それでは後ほど。
Hell yeah. With a happy looking grin on her face, Delana turned around. That must have hit her where it hurts. Cop wouldn't let her get away. She grabbed the other's shoulder.
待ちなさいよ。ロジックエラー時に窓の封印が出なければこの部屋の誰でも。
誰が救出を可能だというのですか？
That is an important question you gotta factor in. Like, who would go out the window? Because, like, obviously, if the guys with guns, Hideyoshi has a gun, right? Yeah. And then Rudolph and Kraus, obviously they're not just gonna let anyone go out the window. If someone starts, making for the window, they're like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Oh, you're the culprit, aren't you? Blah, blah, you know? But what if it was one of the boys with guns? But then again, why? Like, we can say it was any person. We can say, oh yeah, they did it. Yeah, they did it. But you gotta factor in, like, how? How did they do it? Like, sure, they could. Anyone could have opened the window and gotten out. Yes. How though? How were they able to get to the window, avoid anyone else's attention, unless they themselves were the culprit? No, it was confirmed that everyone was it confirmed? Was it confirmed that at that point in time, everyone in the guest rooms was alive? They said that the 18 people were there, but their status as alive or dead, was that confirmed? I don't remember for sure. In which case, is it possible that the culprit, the true culprit in all this, did something in one of the rooms? Somehow. It seems like totally impossible, right? Like, if it were Goda, like, obviously my mind's been set on Goda for a while. If it were Goda, it'd be a fucking 1-on-5. 2 dudes with guns, alright? If it were Goda. And obviously, maybe he did manage to get the jump on Kraus or Rudolph, but then obviously the one that he didn't get the jump on would notice, turn around, blast him. So then if we take our attention elsewhere, we'd have to look in the other room, which is George, Kumasawa, Shannon, and Hideyoshi, and Nanjo. I have pointed out before that Nanjo is the one and only person now who has not been targeted in any of the first Twilights. Like, even though Badler was technically alive during this first Twilight, he was still one of the sacrifices, right? Nanjo is the only person who's never been a sacrifice. In which case, is he the... He is the... No, George is in there. I was like, wait, is he the only other guy besides Hideyoshi in there? Because I'm not implying, like, oh, just because he's a guy, but I'm like, he is, like, well, he is an older man. He's got some, he's got some bulk to him, right? Whereas you're going up against, like, what, Kumasawa, this frail old one, Shannon, like, I'm sure Shannon could hold her own, but, like, Nanjo's a big dude. The only issue there is on George. George ain't no pushover. So what if it was George? Just it's an out there fucking thing. Why would George get the jump on Hideyoshi then? Why would he do that? And we don't necessarily know. We're not necessarily sure that they killed them. All right. No one's saying that anyone killed anyone. Maybe if they were all confirmed alive, like I said, I don't remember for sure, and I don't want to look up the red truths for this episode specifically and, potentially spoil something for me. But, like, if it was confirmed that they were alive, what if they just managed to knock someone out, right? They knock them out, leave them unconscious. Of course, then the issue arises, how did they manage to knock out 4 other people without one of the people getting, concerned? Unless, okay, let's keep thinking here. So I know everyone's on edge and it seems unlikely. What if people were sleeping, right? What if people were sleeping? Obviously Hideyoshi is awake, he's got a gun, he's got to keep an eye on everyone. But whoever... Because I'm thinking it's got to be in that room. You're not going to get the jump on someone in the other room because you got 2 dudes with guns. The moment you get the jump on one of them, the other dude's going to notice, right? And obviously the culprit wouldn't then be able to use one of the guns because that would make a noise that would attract the other group. But what if in, the 5-person room, alright, somehow... I'm grasping at straws here, I know, but like I'm thinking like someone gets the jump on Hideyoshi. Someone gets the jump on Hideyoshi. Unless in the very unlikely case that Hideyoshi himself is involved. Like nothing's impossible at this point. I'm not gonna just because I have my ideas as to who it may be, I'm not just gonna toss aside any possibility it could be someone else. If in the case it was Hideyoshi, like, would he go at his son like that? Potentially, we can't factor anything out. If he was working in cahoots with Badler in some way, shape, or form, it's possible that, maybe the women folk were asleep, right? Kumasawa, Shannon, they're asleep. Alright, and maybe even Nanjo too. Nanjo's an old dude. He's asleep. Maybe? I don't know. See, that's the thing. George is like the one factor in that room that I keep thinking he wouldn't make it easy. He wouldn't make it easy. It doesn't seem impossible, but he wouldn't make it easy. But yeah, Delano absolutely... My point being is Delano absolutely has a point. Is who would have been capable? Who would have been capable? Okay, you found a way out. Congratulations, you found a way out. Who went out that window then? Who did it? You need a who. How they get out that window. How they do it. Oh, but it does. Because then you gotta tell me how they did it. How they get out that window. How did they save Badler? How they get out that window? How they get out that window without being stopped by one of the gunmen, without raising suspicion?
じゃあ個人的好みでカノン君を指名す身軽そうだし気配を消すのも得意だしね。エリカの後をつけ素早くバトラ君と入れ替わるのにぴったりだわ。
カノンに不可能です。
不可能？ダメよ。普通の言葉じゃ赤き真実。あんたの赤き太刀にかけて誓い。
ミスか。これより始まるのは神聖。その神聖なる場で太刀を抜けと、無礼無粋を極めるかと思います。それはまたの機会がいい。それではこれに。